weekdays on Rural Radio, Channel 147 on Sirius XM. And we'll talk with Sean again right here on your Market Day Report on Monday. Farm Bill leaders have reached an agreement in principle, but have yet to release the full details on a final measure. RFD-TV's Sarah Mock joins us now live from our D.C. studios to discuss what's next for the compromise. Sarah?
Well, thanks, Christina. Yeah, that compromise between these two radically, in many ways, radically different bills between the House and the Senate version does seem to have been reached, but there is still a long way for it to go to get signed by the end of the year. And of course, it's already potentially seeing some roadblocks. We've seen some reporting already that some conservative members who have been briefed on just a few of the details seem kind of unsatisfied with what they're seeing. But House Ag Chairman Mike Conaway is asking his members to kind of reserve judgment until they see the full details later next week as he kind of prepares for this final push to the finish line.
Session. The first next step will be to get the conference report written and available for members to look at. We've got conferees on the conference committee that will need to come in and sign the conference report. At this stage, I've not had conversation with leadership on what the timing is. We go first, the Senate goes first. Will this be a standalone bill, or will be the other things packaged together with it? Those decisions are yet to be made. But right now, we've got staff feverishly working to finish the language of the bill, get the conference report written, and then move from there.
Now, of course, a lot of details on this bill are still few and far between, but I'll update you on what we've heard so far. Of course, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who took part in a very unusual way in this process, is going to see his hemp provisions included in the bill. That's going to remove hemp from the list of federally regulated substances, and then also allow hemp farmers to apply for crop insurance going forward. A big win there for his state. We're also going to see that foot and mouth disease vaccine bank that has been reported as included in the final bill, along with CSP and EQIP programs. Those are conservation programs that were not included in the House's version of this bill, but were included in the Senate. It seems that the Senate triumphed on that conservation question. Of course, there's also a number of things that aren't going to make it in this bill. One of the main ones that folks will be looking at is, of course, those food stamp work requirement provisions. Those were the big controversy throughout much of this process. It seems that rather than making the broad overall changes that the House included in their bill, there will be more kind of tinkering around the edges, and no significant changes will be included in the final bill, according to reports. Of course, there also, it seems, won't be any significant changes to the forestry title. We haven't heard as much about this. There seems to have been a decision made among leadership, but Pat Roberts did say that changes to this title would be minimal, and that going forward, there will likely be a standalone bill addressing some of the concerns that came up as a result of those California forest fires, making some changes there. And of course, Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley was also looking to see those payment limits for commodity programs in the final bill. It seems that did not make it, which could cause a problem. As our viewers will remember, Chuck Grassley did vote against this bill in the committee process because it lacked his payment requirements. So we might see some resistance to this bill as it goes across the floor because of what it lacks. So we're still looking for a little bit more information before this bill goes public, but we expect to see it early next week.
Wow. All right. Thank you so much, Sarah. Big news day for American agriculture. We will be checking back with you a little bit later in the program for more on the Farm Bill's next steps and the outlook for agricultural trade at the G20 summit. Stay with us. Our meteorologist